So I have never bought a new car. I have always bought used cars, although I got one that was almost brand new, which was pretty amazing. About 2 years ago, our car died and we needed a new car, or one of our cars died. And so we went to a dealership, found a car we liked, and it turned out that this was during like 2021, early 2021, when COVID was still happening. And they had this thing where Alamo, do you guys remember Alamo?
Never knew.
Alamo is like a car rental service, like Enterprise. Have you heard of Enterprise?
No.
Okay, so I don't remember if it was Alamo or Hertz, but one of those went under because of COVID, because people were not,
Buying vehicle?
they weren't renting vehicles because they weren't traveling a lot. And the company just went under. So we got our car, which its sticker price was about $25,000 new. It wasn't an amazing car, but I thought it was pretty nice. And it had just 100 miles on it. So only 100 miles on it because it was bought by Alamo or Hertz or whatever company did. And then they went under, so they had to sell all of their cars that they were using as rentals. Now, normally I wouldn't recommend buying a rental car, a car that has been rented to a lot of people, because how do you think people treat rental cars?
Not very well.
Not very well, but this only had 100 miles on it, which meant that it was pretty much probably driven to the rental place.
Those miles were probably going to the rental place and then to the dealership.
Right, and it cost us a little under $20,000. So, because it was technically a used car, so we got a really great deal on that one. But it depends on you, essentially, and what you're willing to pay and what you're willing to get. So the first thing I want to take a look at is this. This is what it looks like, a sticker on a car. So I kind of want to go through this stuff. I'm not going to write anything on here, but you can write things as we talk. Okay, so this tells you where it's coming from. This is called a VIN, a VIN number. Yes, I am writing things on there. That's a VIN number. This is like you know how everybody here has like a social security number?
That's basically it. So
Yeah, it's the car's social security number. It is specific to that car and that car alone, not that type of car, your car, that exact model. And why do you think we have one of those?
to put that number with the person who owns the vehicle.
It's not with the person who owns it, it goes with the car. So even if I sold my car to you, then you'd have that VIN. I wouldn't. So it's not like my VIN number, it's the car's VIN number, yeah.
Keep track of accidents?
Keep track of accidents, that's the big one. Because people will repair cars and then they'll lie about it and they will say like, this car's never been in an accident at all.
Then
When
they check
actually,
that number and they see like there's like that 3
Right.
accidents.
and so this is public knowledge, you can look up VIN numbers and check out what the vehicle history of most cars are. And that way you can see if there's any underlying structural damage. It'll also tell you like when that vehicle has been sold and bought over the years. So if you're buying it from some old lady who says that this car has been in her family for 20 years and they only use it to get groceries once a week, right? And then you look it up online and it turns out she bought it a year ago, that's information you can find out. Okay. This is what kind of car it is, the model. It looks like they're saying that the price before options is $23,958. It's before options. This is from a book that is like 8 years old. So think about, it's not inflated in that way, but also it might be the type of car, I don't know. What are options? Sam? Sure, a backup camera is an option. These are things that aren't required to be on your vehicle. For example, here's something that's not an option, a rear view mirror. Every car has one of those. We are required to have one of those. That's important. Yep.
I'm pretty sure for any car made after 2018, it is required for a backup camera now.
Really? A backup camera is required?
That's why. That's what I've heard, for
Right.
2018 or newer.
Did not know that. I'm looking that up right now. Are backup cameras required? Regulated by law. You're right. I had no idea. Okay, beginning in May 2018, they're now required on all new automobiles sold in the United States. I had no idea.
So that's why Ray, my 2018 Jeep Renegade has backup camera.
So that would not be an option anymore because it is required. You guys ready to keep going?
But back then, it used to be an option.
Right. Used to be an option. So there are lots of options that you can get in a car. If it is a new car, you can choose and pick things. For example, there is a difference between driving an automatic car, or what's the other option for if it's not automatic? Manual. What does that mean if it's a manual car? Anybody know how to drive a manual?
My parents.
Lot of
made me allow
farmers
me
here?
to drive manuals. That way
Nice.
I have all the options, not just automatic.
Right. What is it? What is manual? Somebody who raised their hand, tell me.
Mechanical transmission.
Right. Okay. So what's different about how you drive it?
Means you have to operate the clutch with the gearing
Is it harder or easier than an automatic car?
harder.
Harder to do. I mean, once you know how to do it, it becomes kind of second nature. I've driven a manual a few times. I think I could figure it out if I did it again, but it's been a very long time for me. But if you do it regularly, it's very just normal. Automatic cars are more expensive than manual cars. That is considered an option. For example, my husband used to prefer manual cars, and he would look at a car and for the same price get it at least at $2,000 less, just because he was driving a stick essentially instead of the other way around. So
I like driving with a stick. It actually has your mind like thinking about other stuff instead of just gas pedal. That's
yeah,
it.
it's nice.
And you just keep your foot on the gas pedal as you slowly drift.
So, these are the options that are available for this car. It looks like if you want to get tinted glass, it would cost you $129. Is everybody understanding that you can kind of pick and choose off of this list? Okay? There are some things that you think should not be options that actually are options, like an air conditioner.
870.
I had a car that was made in like 2010, so not that old of a car, and it still had like the roller handle like windows. Okay, because that's what we chose when we chose. We got a used car, but we chose a car that had those things so that it wouldn't be as expensive because we just didn't have a lot of money. So you can